Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Okay, no gimmicks, no snappy intro. Plus, I still got some leftover negativity from the Yasuke video, so... Bakugo sucks, and here's why.
Things are getting too spicy for the pepper.
So I went on my first cruise back in March, and there was this kid walking with his dad talking about why Akatsuki Bakugo was his favorite character.
Oh, that poor boy.
What that kid said has stayed in my mind ever since. I can't stand Bakugo. He's a horrible character in my opinion. He's even worse than Kid Vegeta. And at least Kid Vegeta had a reason to be an asshole. You know, with the near extinction of his race and all. Now I have to be fair. I understand how anyone would build up a big ego after being told they're great all the time by basically everyone from the time they were a toddler. But that's no excuse to be the worst person someone in the My Hero Academia world could meet at any time.
Things are getting too spicy for the pepper.
Let's just list the facts. Bakugo relentlessly bullied a quirkless Deku because of what? The one time Deku, like any normal human being, offered a helping hand when Bakugo fell into that pond. Bakugo somehow twisted that helpful notion into something else entirely due to his inferiority complex. Deku basically saved his life when he was in that pseudo hentai scene with the sludge villain. Dude couldn't even say thank you.
You ungrateful he-bitch.
How about when Bakugo was the only person in the UA entrance exam not to get any rescue points, even though he had the most combat points? Yeah, cause being a hero is all about the fighting and never the people who could be caught up in the fighting and could potentially need your help. That was sarcasm. Goku is dumber than a box of rocks, and even he knows to freaking prioritize civilian safety before he starts throwing hands. Well, most of the time. Eraserhead had to literally stop Bakugo from attacking Deku one time during the quirk apprehension test because Deku was unknowingly flexing on his ass. Or when Izuku finally stood up to him and outsmarted him in the battle trial, even though Bakugo was going for the kill during the training exercise. I can't explain how much I enjoyed watching Bakugo cry after finally realizing he's not all that.
Yes! Yes! Oh, let me taste your tears, Scott.
Oh God. That was only season 1.
Lord have mercy.
I had to resist the urge to go over the rest of the dumb, irritating, too outright infuriatingly dangerous things that he's done. It would feel like I'm reading a career criminal's rap sheet. Actually, you know what? I'm not done.
Nani?
Look at how he conducted himself when he freaking won the UA Sports Festival. Out here looking like a rabid dog on national television. Embarrassing himself, his family, and the school. Let alone how he conducted himself during the entire festival, becoming the most hated person in the student body. Or the other time he had to be stopped by midnight from literally bitching at an unconscious Shoto. Oh, remember when he got himself fucking kidnapped during the training camp arc? Because he expressly disobeyed orders from a pro hero after being expressly told he was one of their targets and charged ahead like a dumbass, and would have been stabbed if he wasn't for Shoto saving his ass. To be fair, the arc ended with his ass getting kidnapped anyway, but he wasn't trying to be cooperative at all. Even his own mom was talking shit to him after everything calmed down. Plus, I will not forget what may be his greatest sin. Bakugo getting kidnapped was the final nail in the coffin to All Might losing almost all of his power, which led to his retirement, of course, after he and All For One threw down in Kamino. Now, All Might was always going to lose his power due to him passing his quirk one for all to Izuku, but somebody's ass sure sped up that process. Okay, is this video fair to Bakugo at all? Probably not, but that's the point.
Things are getting too spicy for the pepper?
I wager to believe that most people who watch My Hero Academia are like me. I've only ever seen the anime. I didn't watch the 2 movies because why would I? Where could I even watch those 2 movies at? And I'm not buying those Blu-rays. Are they even canon? I'm not going to read the manga either, because that mug's over 350 chapters long. Also, if your rebuttal to me about everything I just said about Bakugo is that I should go read the manga because then I will see that Bakugo is a good character, the anime version is based on the manga version. So if Bakugo is that bad of a character now, I can only imagine how he is in the manga.
Things are getting too spicy for the pepper.
Okay, I'm starting to lose my steam, so I'm going to end with this. In my opinion, the fight between Deku and Bakugo in Season 3 didn't even need to happen. But at the same time, it needed to happen. Let me explain. This is actually very simple. This fight happened because Bakugo could not accept his failures. His inferiority complex to Deku finally reached a point that he just couldn't take it anymore, so he resorted to the one thing he was always good at, fighting. Or maybe I should say violence. Who cares? If I was Deku, I wouldn't have even accepted his challenge. But if I was Deku, I wouldn't have let half the things Bakugo did go unretaliated. No one has ever said that Bakugo is a great communicator. Hell, he barely even crosses into adequate territory. Dude could have at least tried to talk. It's not like he doesn't know how to. But screw it, violence it is. This is even simpler. Deku needed to finally shut Bakugo up. For most of the anime up to this point, Bakugo has been such a dick to basically everyone, but Deku in particular, which facilitated the need for hands to be thrown. The disrespect from Bakugo could not be tolerated anymore. Even Deku makes it absolutely clear that he won't be Deku's whipping bag anymore. I will go to my literal grave saying that if Deku really wanted to, he would have folded Bakugo. I said what I said. You don't believe me? Let me introduce you to a pretty unknown guy by the name of Spider-Man. Maybe you've heard of him. Now, Spider-Man, like a lot of heroes, observes the no-killing rule. Did you know that Spider-Man is way stronger than most of his villains? So he has to regularly fight below his actual strength so he doesn't kill anyone. How does this relate to Deku, you ask? Well, as we have seen in the show, the All-for-One quirk ain't no joke. And Deku has repeatedly destroyed his body just trying to use little portions of the power. So he has to like spoon feed himself little bits and pieces of the quirk as his body gets more and more acclimated to the power inside him. Bakugo should be thanking his lucky stars Deku didn't lose control, or All Might would be scraping pieces of him off the ground. Imagine if Deku even used like 15 or 20% of One for All. Even if Deku was predictable, like Bakugo said after the fight, which he also said was one of the main reasons he won the fight, it wasn't like Bakugo was dodging Deku's moves. Mans would have been in bad shape if that happened. But I digress. Bakugo walked into this fight with several advantages. The fact that he picked the time and place to fight, even if Izuku's familiar with the place, the fact that Bakugo has had his quirk for most of his life and Izuku has only had his for like what? A few months? However, all these advantages would have been washed away if Izuku put everything on the line like Bakugo did. That says more about Deku's mindset at the time. Hell, even in the beginning of the fight, Izuku didn't even want to fight. And when he decided to fight Bakugo seriously, we all knew in the back of our heads that Izuku could have won that fight. Even the biggest Bakugo stans know this.
Search your feelings, you know it to be true.
I don't care if Recovery Girl said she wasn't going to heal Deku anymore. All Might is, or was, the #1 hero. He has built up a myriad of connections. You tell me All Might couldn't call a favor in real quick? Is Recover Girl the only person with a healer quirk? Fuck out of here. Look, I should like Bakugo. He's smart, calculated, powerful, a demon when hands start getting thrown. However, from the literal jump, he's most of the time the worst person on screen until what? Season 3? I'm a huge believer in first impressions, and my goodness, short of him being a villain, I struggle to remember another good guy character that had a worse first impression than Bakugo. I'm not talking mess about anyone who likes him as a character, because it really doesn't matter. You can like whoever you like. This is just my personal opinion. By the way, shout out to Zonin, Plot Armor, and Anime for keeping me updated on the current events in the manga. So yeah, I know that Bakugo apologized for his actions in chapter 322. Spoilers. It was way long overdue, and it still nowhere absolves his past actions. Deku is just a better person than most of us to accept this apology. Over 320 chapters before Bakugo even called Deku by his actual name. Yeah, fuck out of here. Anyway, I'm done. I'll prepare myself for all the hate that is surely coming my way. No recommendation at the end of this video.
I'm just tired. Very tired.
Thank you all for watching.